Have you ever had this happen? You work so hard on your squash, pumpkins, cucumbers. The vines are climbing up the trellis. The leaves are big and green. Little fruits are starting to show. Then one morning you go out with your coffee to check on the garden, and you notice a few leaves have this white powder on them, like someone dusted them with flour. You try to wipe it off. It doesn't come off. You flip the leaf over. White on the underside, too. You think, maybe it's just a few leaves, I'll pick them off. But a week later, that powdery mildew has spread like wildfire through your whole garden. The leaves turn yellow, brown, curl up. The little fruits stop growing. In the end, the whole patch dies off weeks before it should. You probably think there's nothing you can do, right? You could spray chemical fungicides, $30 or $40 a bottle. Strong smell, need gloves and a mask. Or you do nothing and watch all your work go to waste. I'm going to tell you about something you already have in your kitchen. It costs almost nothing. Baking soda. That's right. The same stuff you use for cookies, washing fruit, deodorizing your fridge. Mix it with water, spray it on your plants, and it can keep powdery mildew away. This isn't some old wives' tale. Cornell University studied it. American farmers have been using it for decades. Today I'm going to walk you through the whole recipe, how to use it, when it works, when it doesn't, and two critical mistakes that most people don't know about. Do this, and your pumpkins and cucumbers will keep producing for an extra month. First, let's talk about what powdery mildew actually is. It is not dirt, it is not bugs, it is a fungus. It loves weather that is warm during the day, cool at night, with damp leaves but not high humidity. Sound like your summer. Exactly, the spores float in the air, land on your leaves. And if there is a little moisture, they dig in and start feeding. It spreads incredibly fast. One infected leaf can infect your whole garden in a week. Once the leaf is covered in white, it can't photosynthesize anymore. The plant starves. So why does baking soda work? Baking soda is alkaline. Its chemical name is sodium bicarbonate. Powdery mildew likes slightly acidic conditions. When you spray an alkaline solution on the leaves, it changes the environment that the fungus needs. The spores can't germinate. The mycelium can't spread. Baking soda also makes the leaf surface drier, and the mildew doesn't like dry. But here is the thing. Baking soda is not a poison. It won't kill the fungus that is already growing deep inside the leaf. It works mainly as a preventive and a protector. Think of it like putting a raincoat on your leaves. The spores land but can't take hold. That is why timing is everything. So how do you use it? Let me give you the classic Cornell University recipe. Gardeners have been using it successfully for decades. You'll need a sprayer. A 1 gallon pump sprayer is perfect. Add 1 tablespoon of baking soda. Use a standard measuring spoon. Add 1 teaspoon of horticultural oil or vegetable oil. Canola or soybean oil works fine. Don't waste olive oil. Add a few drops of dish soap. Regular dish detergent. Nothing with bleach or antibacterial additives. The oil and soap help the baking soda solution stick to the leaves instead of beating up and rolling off. Powdery mildew leaves have a waxy coating. Water beads up on it. Adding oil and soap makes the water spread out and stay put. Then fill the sprayer with 1 gallon of water. Shake it well. Use lukewarm water if you can. It helps the baking soda dissolve. Set your sprayer to a fine mist. Spray in the early morning or late evening. Never in the middle of the day when the sun is hot. Why? Because after the water evaporates, baking soda leaves a white residue on the leaves. If you spray in full sun, that residue plus the sunlight can burn the leaves. Morning is best. The sun comes up slowly. The leaves dry gradually. The temperature is just right. When you spray, make sure you cover both the tops and bottoms of the leaves. Powdery mildew loves to hide on the undersides. Here is a critical point you need to remember. This recipe is mainly for prevention or for the very first sign of infection. What do I mean by very first sign? You find one leaf with a few specks of white, like someone flicked a little flour on it. Spray immediately. If you wait until the whole leaf is white, the leaf is starting to curl and turn yellow fay, it is too late. Baking soda is not a fungicide. It can't reverse a serious infection, so you have to check your garden often at least every 3 days. Walk through, look at your squash and cucumber leaves. When you see trouble, act fast. How often should you spray? Every 5 to 7 days for 3 or 4 treatments. If you get heavy rain, spray again afterward. Fay rain washes the baking soda off the leaves. If you see new leaves that are clean but older leaves nearby are infected, keep spraying to protect the new growth. Generally, 4 or 5 sprays over the growing season is enough to keep powdery mildew from causing serious damage. Now I need to tell you about 2 hidden traps. Most of those life hack videos online never mention these. The first trap, baking soda can burn leaves. Like I said, baking soda is a salt. Salt can dehydrate things at high concentrations. If you add too much baking soda, say 3 or 4 tablespoons per gallon, or if you spray in the hot sun and the water evaporates quickly, the concentration of baking soda on the leaf goes way up and it can cause brown scorch marks. So don't get greedy. Stick to 1 tablespoon per gallon. Don't spray in blazing sun. If you see brown spots on the leaves after spraying, you've either used too much or the sun was too strong. Next time, cut the amount in half. The second trap, does baking soda change your soil pH over time? Baking soda is alkaline. When you spray it on the leaves, the excess drips down into the soil. A few sprays here and there, the amount is tiny. The effect on soil pH is negligible, but if you spray every week all season long, a lot of baking soda can build up in the soil and slowly make it more alkaline. In alkaline soil, micronutrients like iron, manganese, zinc get locked up. Your plants will show yellow leaves and poor growth. So what do you do? Simple. When you spray, use your hand or a piece of cardboard to shield the ground, so the excess spray goes into the pathways instead of concentrating around the roots. Or after you spray, rinse the soil around the plants with plain water. Another option, rotate with other methods, like sulfur powder or a commercial organic fungicide. Don't rely only on baking soda all season. So how well does this really work? I'll be honest, it is not a miracle cure. If the powdery mildew strain in your area is particularly aggressive, or the weather is perfect for the fungus, baking soda might only buy you 2 or 3 weeks. But 2 or 3 weeks can be enough for your pumpkins to get bigger, for your cucumbers to produce another few batches. If you also do other things, plant-resistant varieties, improve air circulation, don't water in the evening, remove sick leaves promptly, baking soda becomes a great tool. Let me tell you about my own experience. A few years ago, I planted a new variety of pumpkin. The catalog said it had good mildew resistance. Come late July, that patch was covered in white. I tried everything, milk spray, sulfur, baking soda. Baking soda turned out to be the easiest and cheapest. That season I sprayed 5 times, about a week apart, and I kept the disease under control. Sure, the oldest leaves eventually turned white, but the new leaves and the pumpkins survived. I got 2 extra weeks of harvest compared to the side I didn't spray. Now every summer I start spraying when the plants are still young, every 2 weeks as a preventive. Mildew hardly ever gets a foothold. Let me tell you about a neighbor of mine. He used to buy those $30 bottle chemical fungicides. They worked, but his hands would itch afterward, and the soil where he sprayed got hard and crusty. I showed him the baking soda method. He tried it a couple times and said it worked just as well for a fraction of the cost, and it didn't bother his hands. Now he uses baking soda too. A few more practical details. Use a dedicated sprayer and clean it thoroughly after each use. Baking soda residue can crystallize and clog the nozzle. Wear rubber gloves if you want baking. Soda is safe, but high concentration can dry out your skin a little. Don't spray on flower buds or open flowers, Faye. It can interfere with pollination. Don't spray directly on the fruit either. Baking soda is edible, but it can leave a bitter taste on the skin. Just wash the fruit well before you eat it. If you grow cucumbers, zucchini, pumpkins, melons, Faye, these are the plants that suffer the most from powdery mildew. Baking soda is your first line of defense, and it has an extra benefit. Faye, it also helps a little with black spot and anthracnose, though it is not the main use. A nice bonus. So here is my advice. Go to your kitchen and find that box of baking soda. Check the expiration date, Faye, even if it is expired. It is fine for the garden. Then buy a 1 Faye gallon hand Faye pump sprayer, Faye hardware store. Walmart a few dollars. When your squash and cucumbers start to vine, spray once a week as a preventive. If you already see powdery mildew, spray immediately, then again 5 days later, and keep going for 3 or 4 treatments. At the same time, remove any badly infected leaves and throw them in the trash, Faye, not in your compost pile, because the spores will blow back onto your garden. Here is what I want you to take away. Gardening doesn't have to mean giving up when disease comes. A box of baking soda costs less than $2. A gallon of water costs almost nothing. That is enough to spray a big garden. You don't have to spend 30 or 40 bucks on chemicals with names you can't pronounce. You don't have to worry about harming your soil, your kids, your pets. Baking soda is safe. You can pick a cucumber the same day you spray Faye, just wash it. The best garden remedies are often not the expensive products on the front shelf of the store. They're the humble, everyday things in the back of your kitchen cabinet. Baking soda has saved my squash for over a decade. Now I am passing it on to you. Try it for a week or two, and you'll see the difference. Faye new leaves stay clean, mildew stops spreading, those little fruits grow up big, and your garden comes back to life. Comment below and tell me, Faye, do you have baking soda in your kitchen right now? When are you going to start spraying? If you've already tried this method, share your results too. Hit like, hit subscribe. Next time, I'll share another kitchen helper for your garden. Take care of your squash, and your squash will take care of your dinner. I'll see you next time.